what's the downside to doing pranks and living that life?
I think you start associating the things that you're doing in the content with views and success and growth as opposed to the moments. And so, yeah, I always see it like when I describe what I do to like normal people in Mexico, like, oh, what do you do? I'm a YouTube consultant. Why are you a YouTube consultant? Set up a YouTube channel. What content do you do? Oh, I do videos, like sneak it in and go, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And on paper, it does sound really good. But it's like going to a theme park. Like if you go to a theme park you've never been before in your life, it sounds amazing. If you go every year, it's not. So it's pretty cool. If you have to go once every week to get paid to live, you don't enjoy it, man. You're just like, oh, when does this ride finish? And that's how I felt with like videos, man. Like sneaking on the red carpet with Leonardo DiCaprio. Didn't really want to do it. He was in town for a film premiere. I'm in the bathroom waiting for 3 hours. We've already snuck past the first main area of security. I've got to act like, oh my God, I can't believe this has worked. When we've done this like 15 times in a row, I kind of thought it was going to work. Then we're on the red carpet. It's like, oh, Leo. Oh, I was like, oh, I'm just kind of done with this shit. So, yeah, I think, don't know, man. Yeah. Not normalizing the content is what I'd say, but also I think you are going to you're going to get used to it. So I think you got two options of either separating and saying, accepting it and saying, this is my job. I'm doing this behavior to grow. Or saying, you know what, I'm not going to do this behavior and I'm going to look for other ways to grow in areas that do get me excited.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so important for people to think about how their job or how the thing that they're doing is either helping them grow as a person or not. It's like you are going to have to do that behavior a lot. Mm-hmm. So is that behavior going to be something that when you look back on your life, you're going to be happy that you did or sad that you did, and it could change at different points in the journey.
Yeah.
But it's something I was very conscious of.
Yeah, you know what I found kind of mad? Like when I left the YouTube channel, I kind of was exploring what I could do and found a client basically. Someone introduced me to someone for some YouTube consulting, and I did this YouTube View Machine, the YouTube strategy product process on them, and I charged like $9,000. Actually, I think it was like $7,500 for them or something like that. And man, because of the mindset I was in and just where I was at in life, I absolutely hated it. I was super anxious to do the work. Then I did the work and I was like, it's actually really valuable, this. And then I delivered the work and they were happy. And they kind of weren't really that bothered, to be honest. It was quite a small thing on their priority list. And yeah, I didn't really enjoy that. And then I started doing it for Morning Brew and Cody and other kind of exciting YouTube channels. And man, I fucking love it now. So I'm actually doing the same work as I was doing a year and a half ago. But I really enjoy it now and it gives me so much life. So I think it's interesting when someone isn't feeling that great in life, people go and say, change that external factor, change that job, change this, change that. When for me, I was doing exactly the same thing and I just wasn't in a great place while doing it. And I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's an interesting one for me.
I think it's worth exploring what it actually is, like what the difference is.
What do you think it is?
I mean,
it could be.
I don't know I don't know what the first YouTube channel you were doing that wasn't exciting, but the first thing that comes to mind is the content.
I don't think it was the content, man.
It wasn't.
Nah.
Was it the mission behind the content?
Nah.
Was it different activities that you were doing in your own life, different habits, different routines?
It was, nah.
I'm going through it.
Yeah.
Was it, how were your relationships?
And this is what I mean, man. I don't know how I got to be so. In fact, I'll have a little punt. I think for 7 years of my entrepreneurial life, I told myself, and I'd only filtered in the messages from society and the people that I knew that success will make me happy and fulfilled and joyful and energy. And then when all of that happened, and I didn't feel that energy, I felt nothing then mattered. I just needed to reset that. And that wasn't reset by the time I was doing the exact same work. You can see that I'm still trying to work out kind of what happened so it can be somewhat of an applicable message to someone else, but really not got to the bottom of it.
It's a wild thing when you are not, you're doing the same activity, but not feeling the same.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important because a lot of people will go through their own life, their own journeys, and try to do things. And in one moment, they're running and they're feeling great running, and one moment they hate running. It's like, what's the difference there?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have no idea.
No, man, no. It was like the fundamentals were broken, right? So these individual things of like fitness, of meditation, of sleep, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I could get all of those right. I could do a lot, but I didn't feel like I was being a lot. Like, and it was that B thing, that fundamental of like my existence. What is the point of the whole thing?